Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Reality with Diva D. How you doing? And I just realized that I haven't done my Real Housewives of Potomac reactionary video on the season 10 reunion special. And you know why? Because it wasn't hitting no shit. It smelled like it, and it looked like shit. Even with Karen on there. Come on in, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. We're going to run right on through this. First of all, what happened was to piss me off. Karen came back, her mole and all, and she's gonna ha. Andy, if someone was sitting in my seat, I was gonna have to sit in your lap. What's your seat, bitch? Where's your seat? Prison? Jail? Whatever. Because I don't think you should have got out any earlier because you are in total denial of your alcoholism. You're a damn alcoholic. Moving right along. So they mentioned Wendy yet again. Oh, and you see how boring this is? I skipped all over at the beginning. Well, my peacock is acting a damn plum fool right now, but I skipped over that because I fast forwarded through it. Monique in that damn recording. Stacey has been vindicated because she was like, Monique, you got to be smarter than that. No, Monique is not smarter than that. Monique's an idiot. She came out there in a Dorito dress. Tortilla chips. The rectangle kind. The kind made for dipping. Duh. No, she's not smarter. She's not smart enough to know that you record your child who is what? You received a cease and desist for? For what? That's my analysis of Monique. Flop, drop, stop and roll. Then they get to Wendy. Now it's time for me to get to Wendy. Then they get to Wendy and her sad case. And Angel, get her off my screen. At first, I was like, bring Angel back and give her another opportunity. This arrogant heifer who agitated Wendy the whole season, the whole entire season, felt so full of herself that she thought that she was the red herring for Wendy. And not only that, she gets in confessionals and says that she wants justice to be served. Gets on the stage and says she wants her to have a day in court. Now, justice served, when you said what you said, stand on it, you live tongue heifer. You meant you wanted her to go to jail. Excuse me. Even fish-faced, big-headed, balloon-headed Ashley Darby said that was a stretch. Y'all, I hope I'm correct in saying this. I honestly believe that until I see proof, now I did have my questions because it wasn't mentioned in the season when she got robbed. But I do have my questions about this county because I did more research on the county. Here goes some fine analysis. Y'all have to scrape through stuff with a fine-tooth comb. Now, even Giselle said when the feds have you, then you are done for. This is not a federal case. I researched that. This is more like a state county case. And what I do know of this county is that they don't want the reputation of having someone robbed. And then they do the research and find out that happened in their county because the county has a very low crime rate and very high in Caucasian popularity. So it does happen in these types of counties where they will cover things up in order to keep their good reputation. I also watched The Birds. If you watch The Birds, I was like, I'm going to tie in Peacock show for Peacock show. Now, Even though the Real Housewives is on Bravo, it's on my Peacock because I don't have Bravo. So, and like I said, remember, my Peacock is acting a plum fool today. But I'm going by what I remember, bits and pieces that I was watching until it messed up. But yeah. So watch the birds and tie Wendy's case into that. I'm not 100% sure she wasn't brought. How about that, Karen, you and your mole, and telling her to shut the fuck up? Like I said, Wendy was brave. She came to the show. She did her thing. I'm not so mad at that. And Tia, you ought to be a damn shame of yourself. What you got to say for yourself now that Stacey was vindicated? I haven't seen you come out with anything. You are Kiana. Y'all up on the stage cheering the triangle dress along. What about her family? Me and Cookie were talking. Isn't that right, Kiana? You got all your information from Cookie? Or did you and Cookie, or was this a scheme that you and Cookie set up to bring us the bullshit? You want Cookie on the show, her and her big boobs? Is that correct, Kiana? Girl, bye. Go on somewhere with you and your picture frame. Giselle. Giselle says she wanted to throw shade at Stacey. And Stacey, shade received. Because Stacey's not worried about a damn thing. Stacey already knows she's a fan favorite. Giselle, if your intention was not to make her a fan favorite, that's exactly what you did. And you did the same thing with Candace. It's just that Candace then stopped talking to you and your light-skinned self and then let you get away with anything. Stacey will go along with it because she's so unbothered. Candace found it very hard to hide her emotions. And I would have been finding it hard to hide my emotions as well if you were talking about my husband and thought you was a damn sneaky link with your lying, green-eyed ass. Yeah. The khaki colored clique is trying to reassemble Ashley, Karen, and Giselle because there's too much color on the stage now. It's time for the khaki colored clique to get back together and assemble and reign their terror amongst the dark-skinned chicks on the show. I said what the fuck I said. Bye, Andy. Get somebody else to host it. You thought you did something when you had Nick and Minaj dumbass come up there and host the show and she was riding Candace. We know where she stands now, huh? How you doing? She stands against something that you don't stand for. Huh? She's MAGA. Thought you weren't feeling Donald Trump too tough these days. Right or wrong. Back to Giselle. So they're wrapping things up and we find out Giselle didn't get a package. Now you want to talk? Now you want to tell us about your congressman and your daughter and all these types of things? Should have talked about that during the season. You should have been doing that while you were riding Stacey's back. Now you and Karen could spar back and forth with your little pretend sparring. But we did find out you had a hot box through Karen. We found out about Sing Sing through Karen. Now, how much details do you want to tell? Because we found out about Karen's drunk truth through Karen, right? Through y'all little disagreements. Her blue-eyed, Mr. Blue Eyes truth. So let's keep going with that. Because Karen's definitely in denial about her being an alcoholic. And she was about 3 sheets to the wind on the show there. Slurring her words and whatnot. Wendy, I told you. Shut the fuck up. I agree with your mother about that. Well, Wendy, I will say this. She didn't really call your mother a witch. But she did bring that up as an example. And I do agree with you there. No doubt about that. Why even bring that up if you didn't think that way or you weren't implying it? Well, I didn't support Wendy because she went along with Stacy. Because she knew Stacy was telling the truth. Stacy didn't have any reason to lie. She was telling the truth about you because you had said something similar to that in the past about she's not fitting the aesthetic of Potomac. She was just your way in to stay on the show because neither one of you all had anybody to film with. And, you know, when it came in on your coattails as well, what's not fair in this whole thing is that I think Wendy came out with the short end of the stick. You sitting up there agreeing with Ashley Darby of all people, but Wendy can't be right because Wendy isn't Potomac. You sound like an elitist fool. And see, a lot of people, let's get into the psychology of Wendy and then I'm going to close. A lot of people don't get it. Why would Wendy want to impress this group of women? She's dark-skinned in a light-skinned group of women. Let's start there. Then you have her being attacked for her religion, which I don't understand in any way because a lot of people don't get that Catholicism birthed Christianity. So, and then every derivative after that. So I don't get that, but you separated her from the rest of the group there. And her won't not say per se impress, but to show, a lot of it was to show that she belongs. She has the degrees. She has the husband. And all of that still wasn't good enough for the khaki color coated clique. Say all that fast 3 times. Oh yeah, I made that up, by the way. That belongs to me. I created that. But anyway, you know, she had a lot to not live up to because these women weren't living up to that themselves. An image of what that was to look up to, I would say. And so, did she overdo it? I think so. Yeah, she did. But that doesn't mean that she committed all these fraud situations that they're saying that she committed. I'm not sure about that. Now that I know more about that county and I know more about that sheriff, I'm going to hold my judgment at bay on that. Because even though Karen is Potomac, she's still low class as hell. And Wendy, you don't have a damn thing to prove to the Mo. Okay? You don't have a damn thing to prove to Giselle. You're in the same sorority. So if she comes back on acting as if she was acting before and y'all both get your contracts back, chuck up the deuces with her too. And you know you don't owe anything under the bridge. So you didn't have anybody to impress on that stage that I saw but Andy Cohen. And that's the person that writes the checks. Okay? And with that, I'm going to close. Come on in. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. Share the video. Why? Because sharing is indeed caring. And as I do when I close, I'm going to chunk them up. Deuces. Like I said, I'm going to hold my judgment for Wendy at bay. And I suggest you guys do the same.